I don't know about. Yeah, we're live.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Rugs to Riches. Thank you for coming in this evening. We're so happy to have you guys. Today, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Greg Schultz. Everyone give him a round of applause. Welcome in. What's going on, Greg? How you doing this evening, man?
Oh, I'm just happy to be chilling out with my homies. I like these. I love these kind of community events. These nice things. I'm just some guy, and that is the whole point. I think anyone in our community should just feel welcomed and happy to put in their 2 cents. And I'm happy to hang out with some fine fellas today.
Well, man, Greg, you've been part of the elephant community, part of the herd for a long time now. I always see you being active in all of the articles, all of the tweets, all of the what's going on, everyone. Welcome in. Right. I see Greg always pushing and helping out people, new members, old members. So it's it's a pleasure for us to have you on this evening. Thank you for coming on. My name's Zach with DeFi Springs, and I'm filling in for AG Crypto this evening. And we also got my man Goldwyn. How you doing, Goldwyn, this evening? What's going on, my man?
I'm good. First of all, thank you, Zach, for filling in. AG is really the technical heart of this podcast. As you two well know, I've been struggling for the last 30 minutes trying to get us running, but we're live. That's all that matters. So, Greg, again, I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, sure. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man, that's what I was saying. We're all together, like you're saying. That's all that matters. So, yeah, guys, just jumping in. I wanted to just, talk a little bit about Greg. If you could tell me about how long you've been in crypto, what your favorite crypto project is, mistakes, lessons learned. Like, tell me about yourself, your journey. What's going on, man?
Sure. So I kind of I first jumped into crypto pretty early in 2022. I think at first it was just kind of putzing around, like, hey, what's all this? What the crap is a Bitcoin anyway? What's all this? Let me raid this Coin Bureau YouTube channel and just try to get the lay of the land.
Guy is the best. Shout out to Guy. I can't wait till he does the elephant money
video. It's gonna be on his lips soon enough. But I got into crypto with the YouTuber Jonathan Seller. He's a gentleman that used to kind of associate himself with the Drip protocol. He called himself the Drip Farm, but eventually he changed his name. But yeah, like when he kind of got into Drip, I'm like, hey, this guy looks like he's experimenting. I liked how he said that crypto's for risk capital only. He had a cautious take to it that seemed rather reasonable. So I decided to dive in, and eventually he branched out a little bit outside of just Drip and Animal Farm. He tried to take a peek at the larger DeFi landscape, and I kind of journeyed with him for a while, just trying to check these different things out. Eventually I kind of settled on a few projects, that really caught my eye. In particular, there's this little thing called elephant money that I thought was really kind of cool.
That's awesome. Did you hear about elephant money through Jonathan Seller?
Yes. It was Jonathan Seller's interview with BT, and that was during the first parabolic rise back in March 2022. Like there was just it was on a tear. It seemed like it was uncanny how much it just kind of kept going up and up and up, and we only saw small retracements with the something called the graveyard rebalance, and some folks may know what that is. And I don't know, the more I heard from this bank teller fellow, the more I was like, whoa, hey, this guy's knowledge. This guy, he's done stuff. He has sunk his teeth into the real world of finance, traditional finance, and he's not just he's not some wet behind the ears brand new dev that doesn't know anything about economics. He really knows his stuff. So that's what caught my eye. What really kind of got me really interested in the project was seeing how he handled a crisis. And I think you'll hear this story often. And like people really the people that are kind of diehard now, a lot of times are people that just observed his reactions to the kind of an exploit that would have sunk any other project. Like Luna, multi-billionaire, billion-dollar Terra Luna, that went down by a flash loan that was of the same magnitude as the one that struck Elephant Money, right? It was, instead of 250 million, it was maybe 350 million. Like, it was that kind of scale, and that basically disintegrated the entire project. I mean, Anchor Protocol was no more, etc.
Rest in peace, Luna and
Hey,
Terra Luna.
before we go on,
Sure.
you bring that up, and that's always something that's kind of interested me, is that both protocols were hit by pretty much the exact same attack. So why do you think Elephant survived and persevered almost 2 years later, and Terra Luna lasted, a week? What do you think the responses were that were different? Can you point to one thing?
I understand that the person in charge of Terra Labs, I understand he kind of cut and run. He was kind of a fugitive. He didn't really stick around. He did eventually get in trouble. He was not. I understand he was not. He didn't have staying power. BT, on the other hand, he faced that crisis like a champ. He dove deep with investigations into what happened. He posted really clear analyses on what happened. He provided a very clear roadmap, and he executed on all the fixes that would secure the system for the future. And here's the kicker: when he actually said he'd do an update, he did an update. Like, it wasn't this. I mean, some of us in DeFi remember a few devs or two orcs that will make these grandiose promises, and they just never deliver. They don't. They just it's like here's a countdown, and we're not launching. Here's another countdown. So we got the countdown to our countdown to get to so we can finally get to the final countdown, right? Like, there was none of that. There was, there wasn't dates that he said it'll be released XYZ, but he was always prompt with it.
And I think you're really touching on that caliber of a developer and what it takes to have a successful project and have the comeback that Elephant Money has had. And that's what we're seeing, like you're mentioning, these months later, where we're rolling back at almost at full steam, right? We're having all these new front office products like the unlimited NFTs. We're seeing future participation increase. So all of these kind of, comeback story of the century in DeFi, we're living it, and we're living proof. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on with kind of, your opinion of why you think Elephant Money is just built different?
What always impressed me, especially during the first few months after March 22, after April 22, was the chart that compared the Elephant token to BNB in particular. It was Alan, I am from Chico, California, in the North State.
Shout out to California.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just noticed this fundamental strength, even against the headwinds of a bear market that kind of obfuscated our progress really through the whole time. If you simply put a thumb over the parabolic rise that happened in March, you just see this consistent trend on the upside. And this is after an extinction level event that would have completely destroyed any other project. There was this fundamental strength. There was the strength of the community that there were a lot of herd members that were willing to mint off-peg trunk right away, like right off the bat, just to give Bertha a boost, just because they really, me too, just because they really believed in the project. Like that, there was a rapport already built into that community that kind of blew everything away. So it's always, I mean, the model is excellent, of course. The tokenomics are destined to become the gold standard in DeFi moving forward, I believe. But it really was the people. It really was the people, particularly the guy on top, that stayed strong in a gratuitous storm. That just kind of impressed me.
I like that. I like that. Couldn't say it better myself. The community is the key. Like you're mentioning, people taking selfless actions on the behalf of the whole protocol for the whole benefit of everyone involved. That just shows you who's involved and how people, like we're saying, have they obviously see and have a strong conviction in this protocol. So couldn't say it better myself. Community is key. You have something there, Goldman? What's so funny?
No, sorry, man. I didn't know that was coming up. I was just looking at my screen, trying to pull stuff up for later while y'all were talking.
I missed it. No worries. But so overall, guys, the crypto market's been pumping in the last few days, last week. What do you guys? Hey, what's up, Nathaniel? He's still minting. Yeah, get that 5 trunk mint to enter into the daily raffle while it's still here. But Greg put me on that. I remember you talking a lot about that and offering that as a simple solution, one of the easiest ways to get involved in the daily raffle. So good alpha. Like I said, Greg's been sharing alpha to everyone, each one. But I was just mentioning, what do you guys think overall? If you had a crystal ball, are we here? Is this the bottom? In 4 years from now, we're just gonna have our legs up, or like the leg up on the market? Or do we have a little bit left of the bear? Or where are you guys feeling in the hot tub? Is it hot right now? Is it cold? What you guys think? Just no, we're not oracles here. Not financial advice. Go flip a coin. Okay, go do that yourself. But if you had to put your finger in the wind, where's the wind blowing?
Ooh. Mind if I chime in first, Goldwyn?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we have a little bit of time before we really see the bull market come into gear. I believe that the crypto market in general, it's still tied to pretty closely to the price of Bitcoin, and the price of Bitcoin, as you know, is pretty closely associated with the schedule around the halving. Once each block produces half as many Bitcoin. Then you have some scarcity, and then you tend to see prices rise. It's been a pattern that's repeated itself over and over again. And that next halving, it's on its way. It's in April of 2024. But before then, we're going to have tax harvesting season, and before then, we're going to have the end of year, kind of cycle of people anticipating having to pay Uncle Sam. And taking profit from their investments in preparation to do so. In fact, that was really the last time we saw any anemic growth from Elephant Money was during that last tax harvesting season in December and January, right at the end and beginning of 22-23. Right? So I don't think the pumps that we're seeing now can kind of overtake that headwind that's right in front of us. However, that does provide a buying opportunity. Kind of keep going with that tried and true dollar cost averaging that little Miss Bertha has been using this entire time. That's why she's kind of freaking dominating.
Like Zach coined last time he was here, is be your own Bertha.
Yeah.
If you DCA in good times and bad times, you're right. If you think it's going to go up, then right now at 40 cents per square million, so very well, 40 cents per million. Like AG and I talked about. We remember it being 8 cents per million, and we're like, that's it. When it hits 10, we're done. We're done buying. And now we're like, well, what were we thinking? Like, it just. You just never know. So the same thing at 40 cents per million now. Next year, like you're saying, it's $1.40 per million.
Bank Teller had talked about this point directly, like you mentioned about Bertha's behavior, how she buys on good days, on bad days. She just buys, and he made a distinction that's perfect play. That is the optimal strategy, because once again, no one has that crystal ball. If you do, please let us know in the comment section below. And so by always preparing for tomorrow and always putting away, right? Bertha has a schedule. She doesn't buy all in one buy, right? She DCAs every day a portion of her income that she's making. And that just provides sustainability, that long run, that long term, that the protocol is designed to function. I mean, I just why, us all around in the herd, fall in love with this project more so than others. Like people, get involved with projects. They might, I put a little bit of money here. What's going on there? But when people take the time to really read the wiki, really get involved and see how Bertha works, right? That's when you start to see the magic and see how the whole, have that that coveted aha moment. And, like you were just saying, Goldwyn, like going crap 2 months ago or three, whatever, right? Oh, this thing's been around for 3 years. I remember 6 months ago when it was, 50% less. And, like I said, it's very early. Adoption is still new and growing. But anyway, that's perfect play. Good and bad times, responsibly putting away for tomorrow. That's what investing is. It's taking a portion of your life today, your funds, for putting away for tomorrow. But yeah, let's see. I just sold my trunk rewards for my farms, and I'm buying more elephant with it. Awesome, Alan. That's what's so cool. Like we talk about, right? You have farms, NFTs, futures, elephant, and how you can use the ecosystem, in a symbiotic fashion. Like you're using your rewards from one portion to then invest into the elephant token. And so, I mean, that's the key, guys. That's the key. I always preach, right, is you invest in a way that your lifestyle is not affected drastically, right? Everyone has bills, lifestyle expenses, etc. But like I said, if we're talking about over time, if it's futures, right, that's what's so amazing about futures. Bank teller cracked the code of making people win. It forces you to win because, like we talk about, we don't chase that pump. We don't jump in and out of projects, right? You're forced to win in futures. You just add the time plus the BUSD, and you build your cash flow over time. So anyway, that's my little rant. But DCA is the way. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And there will come the time, right, where we do see a bigger bull market. I do tend to agree with you, Greg, as well. I think I also subscribe to the halving, and probably 4 or 6 months after we'll see some heating up. One note I will make on kind of interesting stat I saw was apparently the amount of stable coins being minted, or I guess the total supply of stable coins across all chains has now begun to increase. It hit its bottom and it's now on a positive uprise, which has historically also correlated with a more healthier market. So, if that trend continues, I'm so bullish on stable coins. USDC, if there's a way, and I'm gonna look more into that, but they have all their dApps coming out and their packaging to work with USDC. But yeah, stable coins are key. That's what people like, people want to use. So anyway, I think stable coins are awesome, and seeing them grow in size is a very healthy option to me. So that's one I tend to agree. We're still a little bit away, but I like to see that metric growing.
Yeah, we're talking about DCAs. I think people need to realize that this price drop was from one seller. One seller who bought not even a month ago, right? Right at a month. He bought October 15th.
Yeah.
And then sold. He lost $135,000 in the process, and he sold and immediately bought Ethereum. So I mean, we know where he put his money, so I guess he just thought, he took stock he thought that this Ethereum ETF is either going to pop off sooner than everybody else thinks, or he's trying to ride the news on that and just felt that losing $135,000 was worth it.
That's exactly my point, and I've seen that time and time again, right? You take a hit, he literally is chasing the pump. He, like you're saying, he's trying to predict the future, and now, even with oftentimes it's a sell the news event as well. If you follow investing at all, right? Oftentimes it will dump on the day of the event because there's no longer anticipation of the event. It has happened. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, what did that cost him? $135,000. Bertha said, "Thank you, delicious."
Yeah.
I'm eating Reflect. I'm not sure if they sold through the dApp or not. I haven't run that. I haven't checked the blockchain. But if not, right, Reflections. The herd says thank you, and I thank them as well. They were just in for a month. maybe they didn't really fully understand the protocol. They were dealing with big money, but like you said, they bought in, cashed out at a loss, birth of one. It's a patient. If you're in this protocol, you got to have patience. And that's why people like myself and others who have participated over time have these stories of success and of building their accounts and actively withdrawing money and using it for real life use. So yeah, that's definitely awesome. Any other thoughts on the market, or what about you, Gold? When did you say you think that the bull is a little bit more away, or do you think it's here? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that we're still a little ways away. I think the overall market it's going to need something. It's going to need a match of some sort, whether it be the BTA, the Bitcoin ETF actually getting approved, or heaven forbid, Binance stops getting sued by the SCA. We saw a really good pump when XRP won. So if it comes out that that Binance gets authenticated or whatever, if they drop their case or however that progresses, then we'll love it because the BNB is going to run for real. That could be a spot as well.
I cannot wait, right? The day that the BNB FUD is terminated and they focus on some another project. But hey, I love investigative journalism when it's credible, and I hope that they whatever is the truth is unveiled. But I agree. I like that kind of approach. Like you said, that a match can just change the temperature in the room like that. And I definitely think, like you're saying, these kind of little pumps the last few weeks, I mean, that's key. That's pure proof that there's capital on the sidelines and people are looking to buy when the opportunity presents itself. So the more we get adoption, and this kind of segues into what I wanted to talk about next, which is futures, right? As the more adoption in futures we have, right, that just accelerates the elephant tokens of price appreciation. And that thus, right, we paint a larger green candle that gets us recognized on more signal alerts, more groups, more people looking to, try to get in and out of a project when they see big pumps and big price swings. But when they see elephant, they start to learn that, hey, this is not a trader's token, right? We welcome you to try to trade our token, because you'll be like that gentleman who left $130,000, with the protocol. So, that's the goal, I think, is adoption, which paints green candles, which is like a beautiful light that attracts all the mosquitoes and bugs and wants to see what's going on. That's what green candles do oftentimes as capital moves from project to project, right? We're going to paint a big green candle and keep attracting more and more with our products and services. And it's destined for us to become the number one BNB holder on chain, and and keep going from there. So futures, though, I want to talk a little bit about. Have you guys had a chance to check out Crypto Stew's newest iteration of it? It's not a new iteration because the former calculator is still an awesome way to kind of set up a strategy, but he's now included this new calculator that's kind of like a simplified version that gives you kind of key stats. Have you guys had a chance to check it out yet?
I'm kind of taking a peek. I like seeing how many wallets are making, these different thresholds every single day, right?
Yeah, that was a really cool stat. Like you mentioned, I don't know if Golan can pull it up, but I have it pulled up here. Like you're mentioning right now, there's 39 wallets making over $500 per day, right? That's the dream, right? 105 making over $200 a day, 148 making over $100 per day. And I think we're a little bit 2,800-ish, 900-ish participation, somewhere around that range. And here, you can check out cool things like, oh, there you go. That's the picture. If you can zoom in a little bit, maybe. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little.
Control, scroll, or plus, maybe. But there you go. Plus sign maybe in the bottom on the right hand side.
Made it a little big.
Okay, great. I think people can see it. But I was going to point out the total deposits, $18 million, $18.5 million. And like we talk about, this is, with a participation of under 3,000 different wallets. So, right, when we hit those magnitude increases, 30,000 wallet participation, 300,000, right? And we have 180 million deposited, and then, 180 million, and then 1.8 $1.8 billion deposited. We'll just continue to see, the scarcity of the elephant token being locked up in Bertha, falling deeper on the constant product. And right, it's just really fascinating to see that. On the right hand side of the chart, this is, I think, the money shot. This is where, if you're looking to see the magic of Bertha and the magic of futures, right, the debt growth. So since futures has been introduced, how much has the liabilities grown for the protocol? Right, it's grown by 40% of the deposited funds. But what's happened to the assets that underlie the backing, the collateral that backs futures payouts? Right, it's increased by 751%. That's incredible. Like, right, that's over a 10 times, 15 times, backing. As the debt has grown, the backing has grown even faster. So anyway, that's just really fascinating to me as someone who really enjoys kind of the mathematics behind the protocol, just to see that the math and magic, the way that the scarcity is driving such a high price appreciation, while at the same time providing that sustainable yield, right? Transmuting that volatility to futures. It's just fascinating. I think this is what financial math engineering, what this whole crypto, this whole, all of these projects are aiming for, is transmuting, right, the value they create into these, sustainable, cash flow projects. And Elephant Money just takes the cake right now. There's no competition.
That's an 18.775x of asset growth over debt growth, right?
Wow.
There's there's a reason why, when futures was released, we kind of called it the end game. Like there's still a journey to go, but it really did seem to be that fundamental secret sauce that it was like Stampede version 2 in a way. Like it is that constant engine, because there's always going to be demand for money. There's always going to be demand for yield, especially yield that's way better than anything you can get at any traditional financial institution ever. And we're delivering it. And that between the people in the know that are committed to this project, and even just passersby that see an opportunity, it kind of forces us to work together. The system is designed to get us to row in the same direction. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times these efforts, the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts in a way. None of us as individuals could ever have created this economic engine, but together we're making it. So.
Yeah, we've got the best janitor in DeFi. Shout out to BT. All right, he's keeping it clean, keeping it family friendly, keeping it the protocol clean, the machine running. Every version and every iteration of Elephant Money is feature complete in its full capacity on chain. So it's always just it's incredible economic engine, like you mentioned, and no rhyme intended. But yeah, futures is fascinating. And Goldwyn, you mentioned earlier about a match that sparks the a bull run or a new narrative that brings in new capital. And really, that's what I feel. Futures and unlimited NFTs, those are the matches that light just this whole protocol on fire and take the rocket to the moon in the best way possible. It's the gasoline that you pour into the Ferrari that makes it go. And I just think adoption, each one is so important. Like I just had mentioned in the chat before, prior jumping onto this call, right? I love helping people just get started. That's what's so cool, right? The 200 BUSD minimum deposit, right? Anyone who has any sort of is in a financial position where they have their basic necessities met, $200 towards a future investment is a reasonable amount, in my opinion. And right, it gives it an access to people who have a 6 month, 1 year plus 5 year goal to reach a cash flow kind of goal for their future, a passive income goal that they're interested in maintaining and getting to. So anyway, I can't stress enough how important each one teach one futures and NFTs. I have a buddy. Sorry, one more little tangent. Who reminded me to VCon, and that was the first NFT that he sent me. That was the pass to get into the Viking Stadium. And so that was like, I was like, wow, NFTs can be used in the real world, right? That was the most useful NFT I ever had until, right, Elephant Money NFTs blows that out of the water. Right now, I'm earning the high, parabolic yield. Anyway, it's NFTs. He's on my list to have a each one teach one because he's a big NFT guy, not a big DeFi guy. And I think BT's recent partnership with the queen of Web3, Darcy Donovan, I think that's going to have, awesome effects moving forward with NFTs and just the herd growing and sharing these awesome products, which is futures and NFTs, unlimited NFTs.
Yeah,
anyway,
before we jump into NFTs, I wanted to go back to futures, more specifically Stampede, because both of you guys were in pre-exploit, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So my question to both of you guys is, even when I got in probably 3 weeks before exploit. And even at that time, I remember BT saying that, at some point in time, Stampede's going to have to change. Like he already saw the writing on the wall. He knew at some point something was going to have to change. So my question is, if the exploit didn't happen, how fast do you think that change would have happened in Stampede to a version like Futures? And do you think the protocol is stronger now because of the exploit? Or, would more importantly, do you think the protocol could have flamed out if the exploit didn't happen?
Sure. I want to jump on this first, Greg, if I could. At the time, kind of like we were just showing with the debt to asset growth, right? I think you, Greg, you calculated it to the 18.7x times as much. And that shows you kind of what Bertha is doing to funds that are given to her. She's squeezing so much value out of them because you're letting her hold them and she's doing business with them, right? We're all being the community bank together. And so, like you're asking, would the former Stampede model have stressed the protocol or flamed and such? In my personal theory, crafting of what we're doing right now, these what ifs, right? I think no. I think at the time, and still would be, I believe it was 205% APR, and you could compound, right? At that time, Bertha is still making more profit than she was paying out through Stampede, therefore making it sustainable. Right, as we know, it's not just Bertha has no magic pill or she's just she's a piece of code. She's a not inanimate object, right? But what I'm getting at is it's always a mixture of, right, the smart contract, the awesome code, the community, and the adoption level of the community and how it's growing and the amount of funds and capital volume, and then also like the experience of the dev, right? So as we've been discussing, right, you can't be a one-trick pony. There needs to be right, an ecosystem in which it's all coherently working for people with different time horizons. And so that would be my long story short. I think futures is a great change that was made, and I think it does do what we're talking about, increase the longevity, sustainability, etc. But I personally believe the model as was kind of a hot rod version of the current method we have today. That's just my theory crafting. I could be wrong. If I could sit down with EMH, I'm sure we could find out the numbers. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
I think eventually hyper compounding would have eventually caught up with Stampede. Like the fact that futures and now Stampede requires a 200 token deposit to compound your gains. Yield has a price. I mean, it's definitely worth it for the best yield in the world. But it does tremendous makes tremendous strides towards sustainability. You have to be a serious investor to participate in an ecosystem as powerful as Elephant Money, and that's why we're gonna win. Honestly, it's Do you want to answer Mr. Alexander's question here. Are you into the token, NFTs, or futures?
Goldwyn, take it away first. Token, NFTs, or futures?
Sure. The biggest thing I'm in is the token, but that's because I started with the token. After exploit, I put a lot into trunk when it unpegged because I thought we were going to go back to peg quickly. But I had a long time to DCA. So, so if you're just talking about raw dollar value, it's 100% it's token. If you're talking about future, what I think is bigger, I went really heavy into NFT in round one. I already have a futures account, but I've been building that since January. So token is first and foremost. Second would be NFTs, and then third is futures for me.
Hey, Greg, how about you?
I like, although the token itself is theoretically the simplest investment to get into, you just buy the tokens. I think it's actually the hardest investment to invest in responsibly, because if you really want to get ahead, you have to be disciplined. You have to DCAing, dollar cost averaging. You have to have a level of discipline to really succeed, as opposed to those whales that lose 100 grand at a time because they're emotional and they're human, right? So that's the thing. Like as much as I love the concept of tokens, as much as I love how in the aggregate the highest yield product of elephant money is going to be the one with the lowest barrier of entry, because anyone can buy elephant tokens. You can buy pennies worth of elephant tokens. It's still the best. It's going to be the best appreciating asset that the protocol has to offer. I love that. But between the three of these, though, I like NFTs. I like NFTs, particularly for those whales that decide to just throw in a big bag and just run away. Like, consider buying if you're the type that wants to just kind of cut and run. NFTs are liquid. You can sell them on the marketplace. They tend to go quick.
They're super liquid.
Yeah.
So liquid. They're the most, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but they're the most liquid NFTs I've ever seen.
It's crazy. It really is crazy how fast they go. And that's only going to, in my opinion, as we go up in rounds, it's only going to be faster. I mean, you're literally going to have to snipe to get NFT off the marketplace next round.
Sorry, one more quick story. I'll go back to you, Greg. I saw the black one listed at 12:02 a.m. the other day, and I saw it 6 minutes after, and no one else had chatted, nothing. It was just sitting. It just said it was listed. It wasn't the sell notification, and I went. And then I feel like a silly dumb and like marketplace listing, my NFT staking, clicking every button. I'm like, where is it? And then, it was gone. It's just crazy how fast that, I was trying to get that black one real quick. But I can't, I have never seen one last that long at all. Anyway, sorry I cut you off, Greg.
It's remarkable. The community is strong. There's a high demand for a reason. Ooh, Alan, I like your question. How many NFTs should someone own?
As many as you can hold.
Get one. Get one. Here's what I do. I have for a number of family members and friends. I have a bag of 1 billion tokens, and for my 2 daughters, I have an NFT. I think I might try to expand that to other loved ones. Get an NFT for every loved one that you want to see have a semblance of financial future and financial if you want to give them a long-term a chance at a much better chance of financial freedom.
Yeah, if you want to give them a passive income machine, like, here you go, like, just give it to them and say this is something that over time is going to be something that you're able to financially live off of. I mean, like you're saying, man, especially speaking about your daughters, family members, right? I think that's a great idea. That's a really good answer.
Yeah, well, one of the kids that I've been chatting with that just took up with me from main chat, he was asking a bunch of questions, and I just tagged him and said, hey, if you want to DM me, I can just answer any question. So I've literally talked to him for months now, right? Like going through his journey and whatnot. He literally last week he messaged me and said, "I don't have a question today. I just hope you're having a good day." It was the greatest message ever.
That's great.
But I think he's at two. I think he's at two or no, four. I think he's at 4 NFTs. And
Nice.
he was like, "Oh, I haven't hit my next goal of elephant yet." I said, "Well, you're DCAing every day into elephant." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you bought NFTs, so every day you're getting elephant for your bag. So even though you feel like you didn't put $10 in today, your NFTs have put a couple of dollars in today.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
so
so
that's
true.
right along what you were saying about buying for your family.
I think also is to mention, right? We're in round 2. That's right. Am I wrong on that? Right. So we talk about the real estate. It's just going to keep getting eaten up. And like you're saying, Greg, there's going to be whales who come in with $30,000 and they just want to buy that many NFTs, and that just wipes off. At two B&Bs, right? If that's $400, right? Just doing some quick math, right? There's going to buy up 100 NFTs or whatever, right? So it's definitely coming, and I think like we're mentioning, the more adoption, that just means the market is more liquid and there's more people buying and selling on the secondary market. I think NFTs have a huge alpha play right now. Just gosh, there's so many different areas like we talk about, but definitely if you don't have one yet, you need to get an NFT and go ahead and prepare it for other people you want to gift potentially for the holiday season too. A cousin, a family member, a friend, right? Say, hey, I got you this NFT. Check this out. That's another great way to help people learn about elephant money. What's going on in the chat? What's going on, Brent?
So we're back to this question. So NFTs.
Yeah. So
I would like to know how many he should own.
So should I circle back to Alexander's question about?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so but yeah, I like the. I think I have a bias towards our financial products over the straight up tokens because our financial products feed Bertha. I'm really into the "in Bertha we trust" mantra. I like the idea of if you're going to be excitable and put in a huge bag, put it into something that is controlled, something that's going to serve the community, something that's going to actually kind of buttress the cash cow that's going to be paying out for years, if not decades. Like, this is designed to be a forever project. The Elephant Treasury is designed to be a forever smart contract. And I like NFTs in particular because, like, mathematically they're sustainable. Like, even theoretically, if Bertha doesn't have any income ever, which would never happen, it's always going to be that 1% APR of the current balance. So it is by definition mathematically sustainable, right? So like there's no way for someone to overbuy NFTs and then collude to crash the protocol. It's mathematically impossible, right? So it's I don't know. It's just it's superior New York real estate.
Listen, it's genius, and I've said it several times on this protocol. When he first mentioned it and was talking about what they were going to do, I was like, these are dumb, and I'm like, I am not into it at all. And then they came out, and then all the information. I can remember actually my aha moment on the NFTs was on an AMA with him and SK, and when he said it is 1% of the treasury balance paid in elephant, I was like, done. Because I'm like, because it's always going to have. It's designed to go up, and so therefore it just literally it all clicked when he said that. And I actually went on afterwards to SK's page. I'm like, is this true? Is this what he meant to say? And he said, yeah, that's the way it is. And so right then and there, I set my mind to buy as many as I could, and then who knew that we'd sell 4,000 in 2 days?
Yeah. I love it too. We talk about real estate comparison because real estate, you're not getting a 20% margin return on your money, and on top of that, just all the work, paperwork, laws, people you hire, tenants, repairs. like we talk about, it's a no-brainer, man. You can buy these, it's literally like buying Miami or New York real estate in 1776. And right, in crypto, as we know, a month is a year in real life, or maybe 10 years. A crypternity, I heard that crypto slowly use that terminology the other day, crypternity. So in a crypternity from now, when it's 2023 in the crypto land, it's just going to be insane, the return on investment of holding, a NFT. So it just blows my mind. Like, we're talking about simple models, simple adoption, simple each one teach one is all it takes for like these numbers to get crazy. And then when it gets to, like we say, competitive across markets, right? You have people, right, all 24 hours a day buying and selling these NFTs and driving more volume, driving us to the next levels. Because it's going to be exciting. I'm very excited. That's cool. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Like I mentioned before, Darcy Donovan, the queen of Web3, she joined the herd. So welcome in, Darcy. I hope to have you on Rugs to Riches one day. Tell us your Rugs to Riches story.
I sent her a DM.
That's awesome. Yeah, Darcy's awesome. I loved her recent Friday AMA. I think she's a great addition to our community. I think she brings a positive energy and a vibe that will help a lot of women also learn about elephant money. We love all our women in the herd, and it just empowers people from all backgrounds across all nations, right, to learn about DeFi and learn about these tools we're discussing and how they can financially impact their lives for the better. So shout out to Darcy. Yeah, I can't wait to have her on Rug to Riches. But yeah, I think she's into NFTs a lot. She mentioned her Star Dogs project, and so it's so cool to see her understand the power of community and the power of blockchain NFTs, just like we understand it as well. And it's so cool, like the following she's amassed and her influence that she can speak into the world and teach people. I mean, I envy that. I think all of us as people looking to spread this awesome thing that is elephant money and DeFi and crypto, and right, it's so cool that she has a platform to share her voice. So it's so awesome. But did you guys get a chance to check out her AMA? I thought it was great. You guys see that this last Friday?
I kind of listened to it in the background, so I kind of listened intermittently, but I don't know. I did absolutely adore her vibes. Like, she does seem like a very energetic, impassioned, intelligent person, and I think she's going to be a tremendous asset for the herd. Like, honestly, to help us go mainstream. Like, elephant money is designed to eventually become a tenable alternative to the traditional financial sector. That's what we are designed to do. We are built for the long haul in that regard, and I feel like we're getting a huge boost of credibility and towards some mainstream audiences through Darcy. I think it's going to be a very exciting and tremendous opportunity for us. So.
Definitely. I think, whenever we have the Elephant Money Conference, right, and any sort of
Hashtag Vegas.
Hashtag Vegas. That's your vote. We got to do a poll. We got to do Rugs to Riches poll Vegas, right? At the Elephant Money event, but also coming up, Bitcoin 2024 or any other, event that I'm sure Elephant Money will be present at. It's going to be awesome to just like have the coolest booth, the coolest vibe, the coolest people. Like I mentioned recently, like everyone I've met in the herd is so talented and is just such a fascinating individual. So I can't wait to we have these in-person events, right? It's, crypto is so much fun to meet people online, but it's going to be so cool to speak about our journeys and our, really, who people we've met online, meet them in person. So I like it. Vegas is definitely a great conference city. So
hey, in your video today, I really like the stat. What's it called? The square root.
Oh, Price's Law.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a pretty cool statement, because like when you did the math, I'm like, I bet if we actually counted, I bet 150 is probably the content providers of Elephant right now, which would be right on point.
It's eerie, right? How you can apply it across different disciplines. They do it like all different kind of other groups of people. that they found it. So it's just a phenomenon, and sometimes it applies, maybe it doesn't. But I often, like you're mentioning, I find it to be quite accurate. And that's the key, right? Is to, I think there's so many people even watching today who they've impacted a few people's lives about crypto, about DeFi in some capacity, and that just, it right. I love, there's a Steve Jobs little video where he talks about the day you realize that the world is made by people no smarter than you and I, right? When you push in, something else pokes out, right? Our world is malleable. So it really is enjoyable to me when I see these success stories and see these people getting involved. And I just like to encourage people like us who just want to get it, share their interest and passion. I know all three of us could stay up all night and keep talking about this, about elephant money, DeFi, crypto, right? Because we love it. We find it so fascinating and interesting and learning more about it. And so I know there's so many others who share that same passion. So I just encourage them to speak out their voice, because there's other people who you'll speak to that we may not speak to. And like I said, so I don't know. It's been such an enriching experience in my life. So I just love sharing that experience. Yeah. But yeah, what do you guys think about, I don't, this is funny. I want to kind of switch over to, holidays are coming up, right? I don't be that cringe guy who's talking about crypto at the Thanksgiving dinner table. Okay. All right. Have you been there? Shame on you. Shame on you. But no, just, like I have a couple cousins who are a little bit older than me. They ask me what's going on with crypto. These are the perfect kind of people who, right? Your audience. Right. Am I going to go talk to my 87-year-old, great aunt about elephant? No, she doesn't give a hoot. Right, the people in your lives who are interested, they do know you're involved with different things. Share your wins, right? There's a lot of things that aren't winning in the world, right? Share good news, spread positivity. And, and that's, I've seen it happen again and again. And I can't wait to share more testimonials and people who have been involved that's the thing. You have to get involved. Just start, and then 6 months go by, and you're like, wow, this has been really, impactful on my finances. And so anyway, when the holidays come, that's my message: is share with your friends and family who you think would be interested, and that's what we're talking about. It's for everybody. Everyone, let's be honest, is hurting right now with inflation. So this is a great tool that if you just take the time and it's the appropriate environment and the right kind of way, just bring it up, show them, start.
Well, and one thing is, if you were that cringy guy last year that was preaching, right, you can be like, hey, remember last year when we talked? Well, if you would have invested last year, it's up 300%.
That's it. That's facts. That's
rub it in their face. No, I'm just kidding.
Facts.
My philosophy with DeFi investment, etc., is that the point of seeking financial freedom is to expand our quality of life. It's to help us to be more present with our family and to help us pursue enriching, meaningful lives. The whole point is the whole point of crypto is stuff that's outside of crypto, right?
Yeah, fix the money, fix the world. I like that kind of expression, but that points to your point. That adds to your point, like you said, it's about outside of the money. Money is just a tool; it's just a hammer. What are you going to do with it? Yeah.
I really like BT's philosophy of the point of this elephant money endeavor. It's not necessarily to get us all into Lambos and bring us, help us all retire.
Darn! I'm out of this. I'm out.
Right. The point is to pursue a job that's meaningful. Still keep putting fresh capital into the ecosystem, but if you're patient enough and if you're disciplined enough, you're gonna derive more out of the system than you nominally put into it, which opens the door to finding a meaningful job. Something that hey, let's get back to the city. Let's do something for a soup kitchen. Let's, I don't know, work with our hands, do stuff that helps the least of these, helps us, that kind of fills our souls. You don't have to be anxious about money. You still need to account for it. You still need to earn it. But you're not just picking a job because it pays out the most dollar bills at the expense of your soul, right? And I think the same goes with family conversations too. Like, you know, if somebody asks like, hey, how can you afford this lifestyle doing X, Y, and Z? Then maybe it's a good segue into, well, you know, I made these sensible investments into and elephant money happens to be one of them. That's an avenue, but of bringing it up. But honestly, don't necessarily bring it up don't bring up crypto any more than you would whatever other vocation. You know, like people do talk about their jobs. People do talk about their investments. It's not necessarily healthy to make it your entire identity. So
Yeah.
meet people where they are.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I like that. But yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity. I wanted to address Brent's comment here. Right, with so many options available in elephant money, it is, you know, BT used to likes to use this, you know, words that's been used against them, but it's a mousetrap for value. Just like real estate's a mousetrap, just like Tesla stock, Apple stock, Amazon stock, right? These awesome financial instruments like Amazon stock, like holy crap, have you guys seen their 1-day delivery and their catalog? And now they're trying to build, you know, it's a fascinating company, and you know their financial their financial instruments, the Amazon stock. Wow, that thing looks amazing right now. And so I think that's the case, Brent, is that right with all of these different avenues for building that your cash flow. Right, you have to be responsible, understand what your lifestyle and your bills and your responsibilities are. But outside of that, right, just be an adult. You know, dollar cost average. You know, and build your portfolio. This is something I also stress is that time component. Like we said, a lot of people, they're like, hey, I have $50,000. Do I just buy in or this? It's like, you don't have to do that. You're not going to miss the train. Learn, grow, DCA. Because no matter what you get involved with elephant money, there's a time component to it. And so, yeah, that's just my little 2 cents, Brent. I hope that's helpful. Be responsible, DCA, and build a strategy. Are you trying to get 50 NFTs and build your, you know, futures up to 100,000? Like, what is your goal? Or do you have kids? Are you trying to buy a new house? Like maybe NFTs are better right now because then you want to whatever be able to afford a mortgage or whatever. You know, that's my also kind of little 2 cents. But you know,
well, I think it also depends on where you know, where are you putting your funds at, Brent? You know, where are you at in your elephant lifestyle or your life cycle? You know, someone asked on the last podcast, you know, should I buy Trump? And my question is, the answer is not no. The question is, where are you at with other aspects of the ecosystem? Trunk is a great tool in the ecosystem. Is it the best for you now? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on where you are. You know, like do you have a Bitcoin sitting there doing nothing? Well, then yeah, match it with Trunk and put it in the farms and get interest on it. Right? You still retain that. That's yours. It's not being used by the ecosystem. You know, it's zero loss. You know, if you have, you know, XRP, you know, XRP is popular. It's going up right now. So if you DCA'd into XRP, well, guess what? You can get yield on your XRP while you still hold it. You still hold the keys. What?
That's so cool. That's so cool. That's it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
You know, so Brent, you know, I'm with you too. You know, right now I'm DCAing back into my farm because I killed my farm when NFTs came out because I had B&B farm. So I took all the B&B out of my farm, bought NFTs, and put that trunk into Trumpet. You know, so now that I have a pretty healthy trumpet bag, my NFTs are pretty healthy. You know, now I'm, you know, DCAing back into my own farm. You know, me personally.
Yeah, that I like that. It's all about your lifestyle, life cycle, and what are you trying to get out of this, man? It's so cool. BT has, you know, a different flavor, a dipping sauce for what you like: ketchup, mayo, mustard, honey mustard, barbecue. What's y'all's favorite in the chat? What's your favorite sauce? What about you guys? Greg, Goldman, what's your favorite sauce?
Ooh, wow. I always like the orange secret sauce that just about every place has. You know, it's almost always Thousand Island dressing or Thousand Island. Actually, that's kind of a good catch-all, honestly. You know, Your
That's
secret
good.
sauce, your In-N-Out spread, right?
Ooh,
Right, like that. It's
I'm getting hungry.
yeah, right. It's basically Thousand Island dressing. That's what I'm doing. Hey.
Just out all day.
I literally get Big Macs minus special sauce.
No kidding.
Yeah, isn't that Big Mac sauce too? Is that how?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Thousand Island. Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Man,
sure.
I'm gonna be throwing hands at you, Chris.
No, it's good. Hey, I don't yuck.
So Golden, that was your favorite too?
No. Buffalo.
Buffalo?
Buffalo.
No, you stole my. I was gonna say hot sauce. I love
Okay,
hot
yeah.
sauce. Look, within arm's reach, I got
Nice.
red hot, extra hot. Dude, I love hot sauce. Oh my gosh, good hot
The
sauce.
flavor of Frank's Red Hot is just
I know, right? The flavor is on point. You know it.
not just the heat.
Yes.
Just-
Oh,
yeah.
Greg gets me. I'm also a big ranch fan. And this is funny. You know, they say your taste buds change every 7 years. Maybe I was just a little kid, but I did not like blue cheese. But I love blue cheese now. Ooh, some blue
That's funny.
cheese.
Good
dressing
blue cheese is
on
good.
salad. Ooh, on some goat cheese too. Have you guys had goat cheese?
The
Yeah.
goat. Feta, yeah.
Ooh,
That's my
feta. Greek food.
I've only moved into goat cheese since I started getting my dividends from elephant money.
Yeah, that's the dream, right? Oh gosh. But yeah, that's how I had to this evening on the agenda. What do you guys have on your mind? We're just at an hour here, I think.
Jumper exchange. What do you think?
Oh, jumper exchange. Great point. I don't know if you could pull that up or not, Goldwyn, just to show it on there. But
I will attempt to. It might just mysteriously come up on the screen because AG is the one that does all the technical stuff on our podcast.
Hey, a broken clock is right twice a day. I was pulling your leg, brother. No, if you get it up, that's cool. If not, no worries. But if you guys haven't heard, Jumper Exchange, which is a cross-chain a DEX of some sort. I haven't looked into the back end as much. I'm pretty sure it's a DEX on chain that they do it on, but potentially it may have some centralized aspect to it. But anyway, what I've seen so far, I've seen really good things from it. I actually was using it about 3 months ago. I forgot for what project. But when I heard that BT announced that Elephant was now available, it really piqued my interest because I can't tell you how valuable having easy onboarding tools and having especially cross-chain tools when oftentimes people in the Elephant Money ecosystem may come in through maybe USDC on Polygon, USDC on Arbitrum, right? They come in maybe through one of those means of onboarding funds. And now that we have Jumper Exchange, it's just another way that you can skip the bridges, skip multiple approving sites, right? Just go straight through here, an official partner, and buy some Elephant tokens straight to your wallet. Could you zoom in a little bit, Goldwyn? Is that possible?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up real quick while you're talking.
Yeah, it looks great. But yeah, it's cool because you just connect your wallet, and it's just like any other swap box that you may have used, like on Uniswap or
How does that look?
Swap. And great. And let's see, if you type Elephant, I think it's one above that one. But yeah, in the top box, you just put what token you want to exchange for and what chain it's on. And then in the bottom right, you would select Elephant on the BNB network. So it's pretty handy tool. Yeah, there you go. That's so cool, man.
Does it also do fiat on ramping? I'm seeing Alexander's comment.
I'm not familiar. I don't have an answer for that.
Sure.
It says fiat onboarding.
Yeah.
Check it. Yeah, I haven't explored that option yet. That's great if it is.
Really cool.
Once again, another way to easily support more adoption. So that's great news, Alexander. If that's the case, I need to try that out. Thanks for letting us know.
I remember Mike Dre talking about Jumper a couple months ago because I know the young man that I've been helping, he's having some issues, and so I was like, well, if you're using your ledger, you can sign your ledger up with Jumper and go straight through.
That's great. Yeah, I need to check it out, and if so, I'll definitely do a tutorial on onboarding some funds.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty cool. Like you said, offboarding too. That's so cool. favorite bridge and fiat onboarding decks. Let's go.
For sure.
Does Jumper have a token? Win token, right? I love good projects in crypto, right? That have utility, adoption, volume, right? This is what, as an investor, you want to be you want to have an eye out for, right?
It did have a bunch of let me see if I can go back, because you can pick what chain and stuff too. It was really functional.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful UI. I want to give that, I would want to throw my hat in the ring, right? The better our UI can be, the better adoption will be, right? This is a beautiful website, a beautiful DApp, right? I'm always for room for improvement. And so, I look forward to the day Elephant Money looks this exquisite, because it just makes the experience better, and a great UI is very important for a person's experience. So I love their UI. Yeah, I think it's world class.
That's cool.
And it matches our background really good.
Yeah. The purple broken, network.
Right. We're on the internet. We're surfing on the internet.
That's
Whoa,
right.
dude.
That's right.
Whoa. Man, that's what the internet is. We're just electrons. I saw that little Vsauce video that if you took all the electrons for all the internet, it's the size of a strawberry. And mass.
No kidding.
That's pretty wild. So, that's Jumper Exchange. Thanks for bringing that up, Goldwyn. You're a tech god, AG. I'm the new AG in town. Goldwyn's a tech guy.
So, Zach, you dodged Alexander's first question.
Oh, yeah. About which of the three? So personally, I would have to say my favorite and my personal holdings, the largest would be the Elephant token. I really just think, I'm in it, this project's 3 years old or so, and almost 3 years now. I really find that when I try to think where the best ROI, when I think about, Bertha's performance, how she just DCA'd through the last 2 years plus, and just the nature of the supply shock. I love that the code is law. There's so many immutable parts of Bertha and the ecosystem, and so I just get very excited. It takes me back to days. There was a token. I think it was DSD, and they had this. This was an early DeFi project that failed. DSD maybe, but and they had this thing where kind of like a peg structure, and then when it went under peg, they would sell coupons, and you could redeem it later for more tokens when it went over peg, and that was a way to raise liquidity and this that. But
isn't that how Tomb worked?
Yeah,
it was probably I don't know if it was an early Tomb fork or not, but this was before Tomb. I know that. And I think Tomb has a similar fashion with what is that? That's called it escapes me right now. What is Seigniorage? Yeah, Seigniorage protocol. Seigniorage, yeah. So anywho, when I just think about Elephant Money and I see the adoption, because that's what often happens with like a Tomb Finance fork or like DSD, where there's no adoption, there's no reason for someone to come tomorrow. There's no reason for someone to make a strategy long term. It's all for here. And not here for tomorrow, and they're all trying to jump. There's no sustainability, longevity. So when I think about how BT has designed the ecosystem, I just find the Elephant token to be that ultimate store of value. And even BT shared a clip one time with Ray Dalio, a famous investor. Look him up if you're not familiar with the name Ray Dalio. But he mentioned, he shared a clip of where he, was discussing how he himself as an investor has still not found the perfect store of value, has not found any sort of financial instrument or resource, gold, silver, diamonds, whatever, some rare, there's no, thing on earth that humans have agreed upon yet that stores value long-term over time. Then comes code is law. Then comes these things like Bitcoin and things like Elephant Money, and these things where these protocols that are capturing value. So I get very excited because I think that we are moving towards, maybe Ray Dalio maybe there is still no perfect store of value on Earth, but we're getting closer to mechanisms that will help humans store their value over time. And ultimately, so with all that and being said, I just find Elephant to still be a steal right now. buying $20 Bitcoin, supply adjusted Bitcoin. I'm still buying Elephant. I also, like I said, like my futures once a month compounding, but also like I have a Stampede account, and I also have a Trumpet account. I like Trumpet as well. But so with all that being said, yeah, I like DCing the Elephant. I think no one has enough yet. I don't think Elephant Money. I don't think Money Man has enough yet. I think right. Yeah. It's Bertha's gonna get there one way or the other, with you or without you. You know, so that's the power of the herd. That's the power of decentralized finance, right? BT has taken the if you really read the Wikipedia of decentralized, really study the definitions, really try to comprehend the significance of decentralized, and I think you'll find a greater appreciation of protocols that, while there are still elements of centralization, but elements that take decentralization and implement it within their code and create these systems, because there's so many benefits that come with decentralized systems. So yeah, definitely. I can do a whole video. It's really cool. So yeah, Elephant token for me, futures second, NFTs third, and then I'd say Trumpet fourth. And yeah, that'd be I like farms too a lot though. Farms I think is going to be so cool because it's there's a lot of BNB FUD like we were discussing earlier. There's a lot of DeFi people who I've even reached out to who just don't really for whatever reason want to even get involved with BNB. And so whenever the fog of war fades away and more adoption comes and the numbers continue to show the liquidity and adoption, I just find we'll see more big names talking about it. And farms are just a great. They're just so. I mean, every facet has just so much opportunity, so much to give to the user. So that's my long-winded Elephant token for me. Go Bertha.
Well, along what you were saying along those lines of decentralization, you guys have seen this chart, right?
Yes.
How many people we've lost?
Yeah, that's
how many wallets?
Crypto Stew posted. Yeah, go ahead. What were some insights you saw from that?
Right. Well, I think the biggest thing is the people, as we have these big red candles and you get scared, it's important to know that that's the bigger wallets that are selling now. Right. So, like, for instance, over the last 2 months, is this where it has it? Yeah. Over the last 2 months, we've lost, I think, 6 trillionaires, 40 or 30, 500 billionaires, so I'm like 150, 100 billionaires. So these are the people that are controlling, a lot of the token supply. So over the last 2 months, we've gone from, let's see here. The Treasury's grown 17 trillion and the participants have lost 26 trillion. Yeah. So there's a 45 trillion difference, so that as those people sell and cause red candles, that's removing their ability to do that.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's important. I think it's important for all the newcomers to realize that if you're only holding 10 billion and somebody already has $1 trillion, I don't want to say wield a lot of power, but as they sell, that allows everybody else to buy and can increase. Like AG was saying earlier, his goal is to get to 150. Well, it's a lot easier to get to 150 at 40 cents versus 50 cents.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it has that kind of like if you've ever seen like sand falling down in a pile. So it starts off, and like we're saying, the core people who educate themselves, get involved in the protocol. That's like the sand staying in the middle, while other people come and go, or like they're just like, oh, what's this project? Oh, it beat Bitcoin, it beat Ethereum. Let me get into this. Oh, okay. Oh, there was a sell. Let me sell. Right? They don't really know. And so like you're saying, as adoption grows and more education is proliferated and more people can understand, it just helps. Just like what we're doing today, this is a form of education. That helps. Like you're just saying, man. For the LPs to not have those trillions of tokens. And kind of like Bank Teller mentioned today on a voice message, when Bertha controls 200 trillion and more than that, right? She'll have such a stranglehold on the supply that even these kind of larger whales who, like you're mentioning, have been in the protocol maybe for some time, right? They will not have that effect on the supply. It will get to a point where Bertha is just so strong that, right, the humans just have mere pennies compared to what the protocol owns by design. And I can't wait. I can't wait for that to continue. That's why you want to be like Bertha. You want to go buy and hold on to those tokens before she does. And like you said, someone like AG, someone like myself, someone like Greg, someone like anyone who's spent an hour looking into this thing, right? Like you said, your eyes get excited when you realize, holy smokes, the clock got set back 1 week, and I get to get these prices before they march off again. Yeah, man, those are some really important facts. And I like, like what BT's mentioning, if you watch kind of Dune recently, I've noticed there's about 100 trillion left in. I'm not sure if it's the combined LP, but I think that is the combined LP right now. And you just see that go to 98 and then back to 100, 97, back to 100. But that whole time, Bertha's getting stronger, and she's going to be able to go 99, 98, 97 and not have that ability. Just like we don't go up to 120, 150 anymore, and we're just constantly sliding, deeper into a supply shock.
What is your guess on the third flippening? Both of you, a date.
Define your third flippening for the
When
audience.
Bertha beats the LPs and the humans.
Oh, both combined.
The third flippening.
Third flippening. Okay,
Give us the current stat. Where is she at? Where's the herd at? And
Let me see. See if I can pull that up real quick.
I think
let's
that's
see what that
far in the
intersection.
future. I think that's like, even by the time the LPs are pretty far drained, there's some really hardcore members of the herd that are wisely going to have diamond hands.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe here's a. I didn't mean to cut you off, Greg. I'm really bad about that. By the way.
Fine.
I said there's it's along the same vein then. Where do you think that true diamond hand for the herds are? Because we're the herds at, let's call them 210 right now. I don't know if that's exactly. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's call them 210 trillion. Where do you think the true diamond hands I'm not selling, or I've already DCA'd out? Because I have a fairly large bag, but some of it's dedicated to my house, right? So, like in my head, I'm never selling this X portion,
Sure.
right? So, where do you think?
I've got a number I'll pull out of my hat. Just like we were talking about Price's Law earlier. So let's just say there's 150 people who are hardcore, and let's say they range between 500 billion and 1 trillion. So I would say between 100 trillion and 150 trillion are the true diamond hands. So that would represent 10 to 15% of the supply. Whereas I find, this is just a number once we're just talking about out of our hat. But I find that there will be, like you're saying, more selling as we go up. It's just the nature of humans, and people want to take profit. And like we talk about, no sell shaming. We congratulate them, but they're going to kind of hit themselves on the head when 500 days go by and their bag is 10x what it used to be. Anyway, and they sold for pennies. They're that pizza Bitcoin guy. Oh gosh, that's nightmare fuel. Who, if you guys don't know, he was it 100 or 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. It was
50,000 for 2 pizzas.
50,000 Bitcoin.
I think it was 50,000 Bitcoin.
Hey, this kid was hungry.
Yeah.
You got 2 pizzas.
Oh gosh. And so there's gonna be a lot of those stories, and God bless you. I hope that doesn't happen to you. I hope you understand and take the time.
10,000. It is just 10,000.
10,000. Okay. Oh, just 10,000.
Just 10,000.
It's worth $270 million now. But hey, I'm sure it was great pizza.
Oh my
Well, I mean, hold on. I mean, I have to feel like that's all everybody dwells upon, right? It was 10,000. Well, he had to have more. right? He didn't just have 10,000.
And he sold those too because he's
That's
the type
true.
of guy who would
That's
sell
true.
10,000 for the
For
pizza.
pizzas.
That's
Also-
how we. It's a mindset who wins. It's just a
That's true.
mindset, and
I
we all
think that
have
was
the
the first-
answer. It's just who can apply the behavior to have to win. So no, you're right, man. And there's so many stories like that. I just like we're talking about. Definitely do what you need to do, but like you're just discussing, never cut down the whole tree. Always have a bag, and know that, like you're saying, all of us are young on the call, right? We're going to be alive 10, 20, 30 years. If you just have any 10-year goal in mind, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a portion set aside for that. Because like we're talking about, as adoption increases, I just can't get stressed that enough. Adoption is everything. It's just going to be fireworks. It's fireworks right now. I say this, with love, the herd, right? We're getting 1% daily increases, sometimes 2%, right, over the last 2 months ago or so. And we'll return to those days shortly, right, as we continue into these better times after tax harvesting, after whatever, short-term roughage is. But what I'm getting at, herd, participation and, each one teach one, because there's some communities out there who are not winning and have nothing going for them, but they're loud and they're trying to share what they know and understand. And, I want us to have that same vigor and enthusiasm, because that's what people want to be involved with. That's what gets people excited. And, BT did all the homework for us, guys. Thanks, BT, right? We got the answers. We got the plan. And it's the game plans for us, the community to run the plan. And it's so fun when it happens, right? We see what happens. We're getting 1%, 2% days. It's insane. We're up 300% this year in a bear market, right? Bitcoin has had its recovery a little bit right now, but man, it's just insane, our progress so far. So I just get excited, like we were talking about, 150 people playing, to their ability and playing to their strengths of whatever talent or whatever they can contribute. It just, like we we're talking about, the fireworks can explode. He set the railroad up. He set the train tracks up for us to fly to, some crazy games.
Here's your numbers.
That's right.
I was able to get them for you.
Oh.
All right. So LPs are basically 100 trillion. It's a little bit more.
Yeah, 100, right? All right. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Yep, 100 trillion.
Okay. Bertha's at 189, just a bit shy, but we're going to round up a little bit. 189. 188.9. So I'm not rounding up that much.
Perfect.
So holders are at 211. So combined LPs and holders 311. Bertha 189. So
Okay.
let's do first. Greg, you didn't answer the diamond hand question because Zach got excited.
I kind of agree with his assessment. I would estimate maybe 80 to 100 trillion are probably it's probably in the hands of some diehard herd members that might like shave off the top and sell over time, but I don't see them dumping. Certainly not anytime soon. So
Right.
I would say, I don't know, maybe I'm going to say April 15th, 2027 is my prediction.
Greg, you look like a guy on Jeopardy. Like, you're like, what is Colorado?
I can see it calculating. Okay, Greg.
So like, what specific random ass date should I pick?
You guys better write that date down. It's gonna hit. I saw those gears turning. You got it on the. They're like, boom, correct.
All right, so 415.
So then the next question is, where will Bertha be at trillion wise? So she's at 189. So they're at the other end.
Let's see where they're gonna.
So they're at what, 311. So 311, 189. Do you think it'll be in the middle? You think
Like
more
Bertha
250-ish?
at 250 and she passes it or something like that.
Passes both?
Actually, like by definition, 250 because
It would make sense, right?
yeah, because it's 500 trillion that's available.
Yeah, each
Circulating supply.
Yeah. So yeah, it has to be right because, like you said.
Well, it doesn't have to be. If the
unless the
holders
herd-
hold,
You're right. The holders, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's fair. I think it would be probably around that though, like maybe 250 or higher, maybe, because I feel like I don't know. Maybe the herd lets go.
Well,
Okay, think about it. If someone lets go of their tokens, it goes to the LPs by definition. So if you're talking
right.
about the LPs and holders
Well,
combined,
okay.
mathematically speaking,
it stays the same.
yeah, right.
But
True.
by Zach's, we'll take his high end. Greg, you said 80 to 120 was your diamond hand holders. Zach was 100 to 150. So we take worst case scenario or best case scenario would be 150. That means the LP still has to have 100. So
yeah, and that's after a whole bunch of people would sell their tokens. So like Bertha will keep soaking, people will keep selling the LPs. Bertha will keep soaking it up, and
yeah, that's what's so cool about the fixed supply tokenomics is that the elephant tokens circulate, but the capital inflow, right, it goes up and increases. So another great implementation, right? We haven't mentioned the graveyard, but another just great value capture method for the ecosystem. Right. I'll ask you this, Gold. So my date for when they'll pass, I don't know. Maybe 2 years from now. It just all depends on if someone in the herd, if Darcy, gets 1 million people on board, if someone makes a viral TikTok or YouTube video with really good explanation, right? It's these dates can drastically, we live in a digital age and digital information, so you can see quick change, rapid change, just like Chat GPT had 1 million users in a few days or 2 weeks or something like that. But so I'm not too sure. But I was asking you this, Goldwyn. When do you think the next graveyard rebalance? I believe it's at 50.6% right now, so I think that needs 0.4% more. And that 0.6% is taking a long time to get out.
I'm gonna say April 15th, 2027.
I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's gonna be a very eventful day.
Talk about fireworks on that day.
We'll have to do a live stream.
I feel that it could seriously be that long, only because I've asked BT several questions in AMA specifically about whether Bertha is going to get killed once we're back to a steady state, and I feel like he's I think in his head he has rethought the graveyard rebalancing, because it was for a very specific point in the beginning, was to add liquidity, and to put tokens back into the hands of the holders. That's kind of the principle of it. But now that's what NFTs do, right? So NFTs are taking small amounts from Bertha and redistributing them to holders who then sell them, and it adds that velocity of money that's needed. Yeah. So I really feel that he, again, personal opinion, I don't know inside knowledge. I just feel, because after the next rebalance, it will take so long for another rebalance that we're going to talk 10 or 15 years, in my opinion. So This next one might take 2 or 3 years, but the next one will take even longer, in my opinion.
Interesting, because it would have to accumulate another 10 trillion and to then split it 5 and 5. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not too sure. I haven't really thought about, like you said, after this next one. But it's definitely a interesting thing to ponder about.
Yeah.
Because
BT's last explanation was like, we don't want to print red candles. I said, yeah, but the graveyard rebalance is different. That is a community-driven event. We all know. And actually, I can see people trying to front run it.
Oh yeah.
Because they're seeing it coming, so they think they're going to sell, and then they're going to catch these, pennies from heaven when the graveyard rebalances.
Yeah, I think there will be people try to play that a little bit, but like we talked about, that ultimately just prices them out. Maybe they make whatever 4% or whatever, 5% after mitigating the 10% buy and sell tax, or 8.5%. So maybe they do, awesome, man. But that just, now they're gonna have to wait and hold, right? They just became more, a longer holder. And I don't want to say we welcome that activity, because we don't. But fundamentally, you're just shooting yourself, right? You're, like you said, you're picking up pennies and leaving hundreds of dollars of bills, because if you rode in together with everyone, like these recent big sell-offs, right? If people didn't do that, that's how we can have these 1%, 2% days. But people have, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and they get emotional, and they don't have a plan, And like you said, that kind of spoils the bunch, spoils the party a little bit. But that's okay because Bertha is the party. She's a woo woo. She always brings it back to the top, no matter what. It just depends at the party goers how they want to participate. But ultimately, right, the party goes on, and so like I think it's like you said, people are going to try to run it. I think it won't be wise decision, and it'll just burn up. You'll end up having less elephant tokens than you did to start, and like I said, you're just delaying the a bigger price appreciation by trying to chase 2% gain or whatever. Like it's silly. It's silly. And I just don't think it's going to be a profitable strategy. I just don't really think it will be. But yeah. Any other thoughts or questions, or y'all want to wrap this up? I think we're at 90 minutes now.
Well, AG asked, what's your price prediction for price per million by Christmas?
I've got no answer. Like I said, if I make an awesome video tomorrow, boom, $1 per million. But no, so much can change, right? I think it was unexpected for us to see these bigger wallets sell. So bigger wallets can buy. That's yin and yang, right? There can be each one teach one. Darcy's Frank can come in, right? We can sell 1,000 more NFTs. So there's all these what ifs, and that's what I love. Like we were talking about earlier, it's all up to you, Alan. It's all up to you, Greg. It's all up to you, Zach. Right? It's up to us, and that will determine. So, right, B&B will play its part, but ultimately it's the community that will play the biggest part.
I'm going to predict 61 cents because that's the official all-time high, and that would be just so poetic for Christmas. And that's things always turn out perfectly planned.
That would be
right,
a Christmas miracle.
Exactly. Listen, and BT said, and listen,
perfect for the Netflix movie. That's inevitably going to be made about us. It's like, oh my gosh.
And BT said Christmas was going to be great.
What's that?
BT said Christmas is going to be great.
That's true.
Like 3 months ago or 2 months ago or whatever it was.
I think it will be.
Shout out to Brent. Thank you for the compliments. Grateful for Rugs for Riches and DeFi Springs videos. Good info and entertaining. Elephant superheroes. I appreciate it, Brent. Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate Brent and all his questions today.
Yes, please come back next time, Brent. We love having you. Yeah, you should be on the show sometime, man. This each one teach one. We're all regular guys. I know I'm a little silly goof in this little superhero suit, but man, we're just some ordinary guys exploring we're surfing the web of this DeFi, and really just trying to show people, what's the quality and what's the, questionable. So
and really, thanks for Greg for coming on, because that's all we are. We're, it's a conversation that Greg and I would have had texting or DMing or, through Telegram, and that's what we just wanted to bring. We're hoping that the show will answer those questions that everybody has,
Yeah,
there's a face behind all those text boxes, right? We're actual people. We're flesh and blood, right? And there is a sense of camaraderie, that's built around.
Dang, Alan, I miss AG Crypto. I miss you, but what about the new guy? You like him? How's he doing? How's his replacement doing? I miss AG. He'll be back with us soon.
He'll be back next week.
Yeah, shout out to AG. Yeah, we'll have Crypto Mason OG next week as well.
Nice.
You're gonna miss me next week. Everybody's gonna be like, "Where's Goldwyn at?"
Yeah. Goldwyn, you'll also have to be taking a break, a leave of absence on next Monday. Is that correct?
Yes. Mine is. I will be on a cruise ship in the Caribbean.
Woo! That's awesome, man. Are you sure you don't want to go sneak away real quick and do a live jump in real quick?
I normally put my phone in the safe and I just totally ignore it. But I do think I'm gonna try to put some content out. Well,
I want to see you on the promenade. I want to see you on the front. I want to see you on top of the radars, on top of the front deck. I climbed up there one time. Don't recommend. But no, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That'll be a fun time. Definitely have fun. Yeah. If you can't, no worries. If you're with your family and friends, enjoy that. But if not, if you can come by and jump on and hey, come through.
And man. AG, we hope your dad is doing better.
Yes, shout out to AG. Is with his father right now. Our best wishes go out to AG and his dad. But best wishes. AG's the man. Yeah. But yeah, what about you, Greg? How's your week looking forward, man? You know, today's Monday. You excited for this week? Gonna be an awesome week.
I can't complain, man. I mean, I it's gonna be kind of same old, just general routine. But I mean, I got my elephant family. You guys put up with me for some reason or another, so I'm gonna keep sticking around.
Well, I appreciate you, Greg. You're the only one that talks to me on TikTok.
Oh, that's why I got to get back into that. Yeah,
I know. I've been a slacker. It's
and you know, I like to slap on the phrase "we are all going to make it" at the end of pretty much every comment, because we have a track record, we have a trajectory, we're getting there. The matter of when is up to us, obviously, but we're all gonna make it, brother.
Facts.
so. Hey, Zach, remember I told you that campground that I have that's in Georgia?
Yeah.
So I was there this weekend. It's like 16 individual cabins and then one really, really big cabin. It's on like 5 acres, and it's super cheap, dude. We could get that whole campsite for a weekend.
Dude,
it'd be awesome. I mean,
EM camping trip. EM
sure.
each one.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I don't know, it's South Georgia, North Florida, whatever you want to call it, the Florida Georgia line, right at 75.
We gotta let Crypto Mason. I'm gonna bring it up next week when he comes along. He's a big camper, and he was even mentioning he's done camping trips and done each one a little bit. So that'd be awesome, man. Like you brought that idea of doing the campground. So yeah, man, I say we organize it, put the word out. I definitely think there would be a lot of people interested, and that we'd have a great time as well. So yeah, and like I think Alan mentioned, a EM cruise, that would be an awesome thing to do as well. I think 2024 is coming up. We should start getting our plans out. It's easier now than ever, guys and
We
girls.
need a cruise to Elephant Island. For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Brent, thank you, Brent, for your kind words. You know what? Like, if they're willing to scrape off the sidewalk gum and bring them into the show, then you would be an excellent guest too. So, come on, brother.
I think you sell yourself short, sir. Right? You're definitely not the gum on the sidewalk.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can always hit up Greg in the Elephant Money chat room. Like Goldwyn's saying, always a friendly face to help you out if you have a question, an elephant question. But yeah, all of us are available, myself as well. Also I'm in the show notes. Come join my Telegram as well, my DeFi Springs Telegram. And yeah, we're just guys trying to, like we said, each one teach one and share our experience and hang out, just vibing, just vibes. Even in the hot tub, Bertha in the hot tub. I'll bring her, chilling, pick up all the chicks with Bertha. They're like, "What the hell is this elephant thing?" I'm like, "I own the cruise ship."
I think I remember that TikTok where you were like in the jacuzzi with your suit, and
Yes, you remember that? Yes, I gotta bring that back.
Zach, I love it.
Yes, OG fan, Greg. Shout out to you. Yeah, but yeah, guys, thanks for having me on as well. Goldwyn inviting me. Thank you, Greg, for coming on. It's been an awesome episode. Thank you all guys for coming into this evening. Anything else you guys want to say for wrap it up?
Greg, you got anything?
Each one teach one, guys.
Gold. That's gold. That's gold right there.
Guys, if you hadn't hit the like button, if you haven't subscribed, new content almost daily.
If you haven't seen the memes, oh my gosh, the best crypto memes on the internet are on Rugs to Riches shorts. And do you guys have a TikTok? Have you guys put those on as AG?
Yeah.
On TikTok? Okay, great. I'm missing out. I gotta like and subscribe and follow. But those are amazing. I think those, like you're saying, Goldwyn and AG, you guys did such a great job at providing this platform so everyone in the herd can come on and talk, and people in the herd, people just wanting to learn about crypto and stuff. But it's a really great platform, and I just want to give props to you. And I think like I said, both your teamwork together has just been very fruitful for the herd, and I can't wait to see how this develops and continues forward. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Each one, y'all.
That's right.
Each one.
Have a good night, fellas.